basically the point of this slide is we've learned a lot. So in 1949, there were 116,000 doctors that recommended Camel cigarettes. And so we've learned a lot since then. There probably aren't too many doctors that recommend any cigarettes at this point. In the 60s, when I used to clean out the garage, my dad would say, you know, you can't go play until you clean out the garage. I'd clean out the garage, and there was oil and there's paint. And I'd say, okay, what do I do with this? And he says, well, you just pour it in the ground. And that's the way we took care of things, because the ground was magic. But it really isn't magic. So it did clean out the garage, and I did get to play. So it worked for me, but now we know that when you pour things on the ground, and especially in a very sandy soil area, it will go down, and it will get down into the groundwater and can get into the rivers and things like that. We formed a charter, and so the charter is up there. And so our charter is to provide recommendations, and we're wrapping that up now. You're going to see the recommendations towards the end of the presentation. And we're volunteers that are trying to come up with the best recommendations that will suit the interests of the area as best as we can. A couple meetings we had, we were all over the place. We were talking about golf courses, and we were talking about cluster systems, and we were talking about livestock. I mean, we were talking about everything. And we'd go from one thing to the other. So we'd be talking about what's the source and then what's the solution. And so luckily my wife does these kind of graphic drawings. So I had her draw this to break the problem into 4 areas. What are the sources? There's a lot of debate about what are the sources. And then what about the environment that we have? What's the unique characteristics of the environment in South Deschutes, North Klamath area? And then what is the impact of all that? And then what are the solutions? And so then we could start focusing our meetings on one of those areas. So we'd start focusing on the sources of contaminants. And then another meeting we'd start talking about the environment. We'd have a soil engineer come in and talk about the environment.